Hi, I'm Rob from Rob's Been Running. I hope you are doing well, staying safe and training hard. We are back with an important shoe update today, and it is one of my favourite trail running shoes of all time. It's the Saucony Xodus Ultra, and this is the Xodus Ultra 3. So I've got a long history with the Xodus franchise. Starting with the Xodus 13, which was a heavy but comfortable shoe, and I run lots of miles in that, and when I was looking for a perfect trail run shoe, that one just ticked all of the boxes in terms of width, fit, comfort and performance, even if it was a little bit heavy. Then Saucony brought out their update, and the long awaited Saucony Xodus Ultra appeared, and that was like a shoe revelation. So it was almost near perfect, super comfortable, great for long distance, excellent midsole from that dual compound power run, good grip, not excellent but good grip. The only minor issues were odd durability issues with the upper. However, the performance of the shoe far outweighed any minor durability issues that we got. So then up came the update to that, which was the Xodus Ultra V2. Runs similar to the previous model, but they'd redesigned the upper, and the upper was just not as durable at all, and they fell apart way too early. So I actually went back to the Xodus 1, and I've run in that shoe ever since. Unfortunately, you can't get hold of that shoe much now. This is my very final pair. These are the ones that went and did the UTS with me, but unfortunately they're almost gone. Rips on both sides on that one, and on the other one the toe's gone, the side's going there at the flex point, and on this side as well, another hole in here, and the rubber's almost gone as well on the heel. So they've done about 350 miles. So now obviously Saucony have brought out the version 3. Here it is. Yeah, always worries me when they bring up another update. Are they gonna screw it up, mess it up like the V2, or are they gonna take it back in time like the V1? Well, let's find out now. Okay, so let's go through the shoe in a bit more detail. The shoe has a new broader platform that's been redesigned for extra stability. Not that I struggled with stability in the previous version, but others did apparently, so that's been redesigned. Hopefully it doesn't make the shoe firmer. Saucony say that they have added more cushioning to the midsole, and we'll see how much more in a minute when we go through the stats. I already thought the previous midsole was well cushioned, but in a world where these days trail shoes are getting more and more cushioned as opposed to less, it doesn't surprise me that Saucony have done that. Not that I don't think it was needed though, personally, so let's see how that is. Saucony say they've also improved this rubber outsole. Yes, I think this outsole did struggle on wet rock. Whether it will still do that or not, I don't know. It will be hard to test that because I don't live in an area where we get lots and lots of wet rock. Yes, there's a little bit in the forest, but not too much. But we'll give it a go. It's good to see that they've kept the rock plate in the bottom of the outsole there. Really important in my opinion. So let's see. The Power Run PB midsole cushioning has been redesigned to give you more snap. I actually thought, you know, for a shoe that's doing ultra distances, I'm not sure snap is necessarily the thing that you look out most for. Yes, if you're in a racer and you're potentially, if you want to be at the front of the pack, I think otherwise you're just looking for a shoe that's going to take you the distance and be incredibly comfortable. So we'll see how that is. Hopefully it doesn't stiffen the shoe up, but we will see. The Power Run has now got, well, it's always had, but I think, but they're telling me that there's a change to the supportive frame, which is adding durability to the shoe and stability. As I said, I don't think this was unstable. but we'll see how that pans out. There's a new breathable upper mesh here, redesigned to keep out trail debris but also keep your feet cool. Certainly feels like the soft fabric's nice and soft, so let's see how that goes. And lastly, the PowerTrack outsole has these 4mm lugs still, as it did before, for nimbleness, and obviously, as I said, the rubber compound has been redesigned, so it should give you better grip. Let's see. So let's go through a few facts and figures about this shoe, and then we'll get into it in a little bit more detail. Okay, so the shoe weighs in at 288 grams in a UK 9. That's 26 grams heavier than the previous version, which is never a good thing in my book. The heel offset is still 6mm. However, this time you do get an extra millimeter. So you've got 36mm under the heel and 30mm on the forefoot. So the same drop as the Xodus Ultra 2, but a 1mm increase in cushioning. The shoe comes in priced at £150. That is a £5 increase on the previous version. Reasonable for today's pricing, but still always disappointing to see a price increase. The shoe only comes in one colour, and that's this one. It's called Navy Peel. I'm sure Saucony will release additional colours in the future. I tried this pair on indoors just for fit, and I'd say it's true to size. Fits very, very similar to the previous Xodus models, so no issues there. And this shoe is classified as vegan and is made from recycled materials, so excellent. It's good for the environment as well. So all good. Okay, so let's just go through this shoe top to bottom. We'll start with the upper. As I mentioned, it's got this new fabric mesh, as you can see here, which seems really comfortable. You've got plenty of protection with a toe bumper around here, overlays structured around the shoe with the Saucony sign there. You can see the overlays around here just to add some durability, particularly around the lace eyelets as well, and flipping it over on the other side as well where you've got the Saucony sign. So it feels like it's going to be potentially more durable. Let's see. I like the fact that they've run that all the way around the flex point here, so hopefully when we flex that we're not going to see any tearing in that point. Just flexing that there, the shoe does feel relatively stiff. Now I know I've bed this one in a bit more, but there's not much difference, a little bit. I think that obviously that rock plate being under there is stiffing it a little bit, and maybe that will bed in nicely. In terms of the laces are standard lacing system. They do feel quite textured though, so hopefully that means we'll get a good hold in the laces. The tongue has a moderate level of padding, which feels quite nice actually, as does the heel cup as well. So it feels like it's going to be a comfortable place to be. The heel cup is well structured. We've got this new flared design here. First time we've really seen that on the Xodus. The previous Xodus 1 didn't have it, and neither did the 2. So that's slightly different. I've seen a lot of shoe brands doing that now. We've got a nice heel tab on the back as well to help you get in and out of the shoe. The tongue is gusseted in the shoe, which is great. Always good to see that. And obviously inside we've got a pair of the old Power Run insoles, and these are great. These are really good. They really improve the comfort of the shoe. So let's pop those back in there. Okay, moving down to the midsole, we've got the same Power Run PB foam in there in the midsole. However, they say they've added more cushioning. It feels like it could be slightly denser. It's hard to tell. I've not run in them yet. It's hard to tell. I can't tell from pushing it in, but it might be a little bit denser. We'll see. I'm hoping that doesn't take away from the comfort of the shoe. We will see though in good time, obviously. But otherwise, it's a similar setup. You've got the Power Run PB cushioning, and then the Power Run Plus for the stability of the shoe as well. So hopefully that dual compound should give us a comfortable ride over long distance. We will see. Flipping over to the rubber outsole, yes, it has been slightly redesigned, very similar with the chevron pattern and reverse chevrons on the heel. Hopefully it is a bit more sticky. It would definitely help, but I'm hoping that with that extra stickiness we don't lose more durability, because this shoe does, and you'll see from the one here, version 1 here, wear out quite quickly on the lugs, and I get why. The lugs are soft. They're soft for a reason. If you make them too hard, then you're not going to grip on wet, dry stuff. So I understand why I do it, and it's definitely a fine balance between grip and durability on the outsole. So let's see how we get on. Obviously Vibram managed to get it right, so hopefully Saucony can with their rubber as well. So that's the shoe in a nutshell. There have been some mixed reviews about this shoe online. There are plenty of them popping up now. Some good, some bad, obviously. But I'd like to find out for myself how good this shoe is. So I'm keen to get them on my feet and get them tested. So we will go out now. I'm going to get a good couple of runs in, and I will see you back shortly for a wrap up of this review. Right, we are about 3 miles in, and yes, first thing to notice straight out of the box is that firm cushioning, or firmer cushioning, should I say. It's definitely firmer than the Xodus Ultra version 1 and 2, and not in a good way, I'd say. It's not uncomfortable by any shot, but you know, this shoe's it's been made for the long distances. I don't know why you would want that firmer cushioning for anything, you know, 50 miles upwards. Fine for 50k's and things like that. It'd be interesting to see if it beds in, but definitely feel the difference in that midsole cushioning. I'd say not uncomfortable, but I wonder how your feet would feel when you get into the 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 mile marks in this shoe. So I'm keen to test that out, which is why I'm going to do another couple of runs before we can close a conclusion on this shoe. Definitely going to get in a long run on Sunday in this shoe, good 20 miles, and see how that shoe's feeling on that run. But yeah, let's crack on, and I'll give you an update on the rest of the shoe in a bit. Right, we've got about 3 miles-ish left, something like that. Gonna do around 8 miles tonight, so nice distance for a first run in this shoe. And as I said, that midsole is a lot firmer than the previous 2 versions of the Xodus Ultra, but it's not uncomfortable, so we'll give it a chance, and yeah, we'll see how that beds in. In terms of the upper's comfy. I don't have any complaints about the upper. I find the width is good for my foot, even though I've got wide feet. Don't get me wrong, it's not a wide fitting shoe, it's just flexible because the material that's been used for that upper means that it will fit my foot quite well. So, and that's been the case with certainly this version and the version 1. I think version 2 was, the fabric was less flexible. I had no issues with that shoe either, but I think this is quite a comfortable place to be. Certainly nice padding around the heel cup and the tongue, that feels alright. Nice and comfortable, don't see any issues there. I've not had any slippages in the shoe. My foot's still feeling pretty locked in, which is good. I've not had to retie the laces yet, so hopefully it maintains that and stays that way, and that'll be good for future runs, and yeah, if my foot's not coming loose, so that's all good. Grip wise, not run across any real muddy stuff yet. There's been a little bit of slippery stuff because we've had a bit of rain the last few days, but the shoe's handled that very easily, as I'd have expected it to. You know, this shoe isn't built for deep mud. You know, 4mm lug is not ideal for a British winter. I do tend to run the Xodus Ultra in British winters, but yeah, it's not ideal for that really. But obviously in weather like we're having, summertime, spring, autumn, absolutely fine as long as it doesn't get too muddy and boggy. But yeah, grip's been pretty good on all the surfaces that I've run it on so far, and with, you know, tree roots, mud, compacted trails, stones, little few rocky bits here and there, and some grass, and concrete. So far handled all of those okay. So yeah, in general, not bad. It's only for that midsole really. So what we'll do is we'll get this run done. As I said, I got about 3 miles to do, and I'm going to do 2 more runs in this shoe. I'm going to do a run on Saturday, which will probably be about 7 miles, and then I'm going to do a 20-mile run on Sunday, and then we'll follow up with a conclusion. So I'll see you back at the flat once we've done those runs. And as if by magic, we are back. So that was a quick whirlwind 3-day running expedition in the Saucony Xodus Ultra 3. So okay, it's time to get down to the business part of the review. So how did it perform? Well, we got a good testing over those 3 days. We did one 8-mile run, and then we did a 5-mile run, and then we did a 20-mile run. So varying lengths, varying speeds, a little bit quicker in the 5-mile, not much, but a little bit. Just got to see how responsive this shoe was, considering it's meant to have lots of bounce back and spring. So yeah, pretty good mixture. Also a good mixture of weather. You know, very dry when we did our first run, but the 5-mile and the 20-mile runs following that first run, we'd had a lot of rain. So good mixture of underfoot conditions, stone, rock, mud, sand, grass, you name it, we've run on it. So good testing for this outsole, which we'll go into in a moment. So let's crack on and start with the upper. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, this felt like quite a nice fabric. I thought it'd be quite comfortable, and it has been comfortable. The upper itself has been a very comfortable place to be in general, which is good, so I enjoyed that part of the shoe. The lockdown in these laces was pretty good. I didn't have to retie them at all on any of those 3 runs, so that was good. and I felt nicely protected by that toe bumper. So that nice durable toe bumper that we get there on the shoe, lots of protection from that. So I had no issues with that, and the upper performed well, which is good. Coming on to the midsole, obviously this is the contentious part. As I said on the run, it's a lot firmer than the Saucony Xodus 1 and 2. Personally, I think the Xodus 1 and 2 midsole was better set up, particularly for longer runs. Don't get me wrong, this isn't as firm as, say, like the Tamiya shoe that we reviewed a few months ago, but it's a lot firmer than the previous version. And those people that are fans of the midsole setup in version 1 and 2 will probably be slightly disappointed about this midsole. That being said, I did find that certainly after the 20-mile run, this had bedded in a little bit, so it does soften up a bit. And perhaps that'll soften up a little bit more, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it is a denser midsole. It's not uncomfortable by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're used to the soft cushioning on the previous version, then you are going to be in for a little surprise when you put these on your feet. So something to bear in mind before you pick up a pair of these. Are you used to firmer cushioning? Is that the type of thing you go for, or are you full on Hoka soft cushiony stuff, or maybe like the Fresh Foam X from New Balance? Because this is not like that. So what it does give you is stability. That firmer midsole does give you good stability when you're out on the trails, especially on uneven terrain, tree roots, rocks and things like that. Pretty good in that respect. So talking about rocks, that rock plate in the bottom of this shoe has performed very well, as it has done on all the others, so there's no new news to report there, I guess, other than it just works, which is good. So very comfortable, no issues with stones coming through the bottom of that midsole. Yeah, so a comfortable place in that respect, so that was good. I mentioned out on the run that these shoes with their 4mm lugs are not suitable for a British winter, really. I did run the previous two versions in the British winter. You do slip and slide a little bit in heavy mud. You'll see from here, I'll just bring that closer, the mud does get caught a little bit in those chevrons. Not massively, but a little bit. I've brushed some of this out. So yeah, a little bit. So you would struggle with traction in heavy mud. In light sticky mud, like we've been having out there recently, not too bad. It's fine for that. But I don't think this shoe is, obviously, say with its 4mm lugs, it's not really been designed for a British winter. Very much a spring, autumn, summer shoe. But yeah, so just something to note there. But that is no different to the previous two versions as well. So there's no updates to that from the previous ones. Just quickly jumping back to the upper, breathability was good. I didn't have to drainage, I don't know, because I didn't step in any deep water, so I didn't have any issues with getting wet feet. So I don't know how the drainage is. However, it is quite a light mesh fabric, so don't think the drainage would be a problem there. So yeah, all in all, it's been a positive experience. The only one negative, as I've mentioned a few times already, is the midsole is firmer. I just wish Saucony hadn't done that. I guess it would have been based on feedback from customers. You know, at the end of the day, midsole setup is all down to personal preference, and if you prefer your midsole to be firmer, then customers would have fed that back to Saucony, and Saucony have clearly had enough feedback to warrant adjusting that setup. So not sure the exact reasons, but I suspect that's what it was. It's a shame because I thought the previous two versions were so comfortable. You could, this one I've had no issues in terms of hot spots, blisters or anything like that, so it's fine in that respect. but you just felt so comfortable in the previous version that you could soak up the miles in it. Yes, this is probably slightly springier in terms of rebound when you're running on like the hard stuff, but as I mentioned at the start of the video, I don't think you're looking for that necessarily when you're doing an ultra. Certainly runners of like similar caliber to myself, where you're essentially a mid-pack runner, where you're not going out at the start, you're not a racing snake, where you might need that rebound propulsion because you're traveling quick across the trails. The majority of us are not, and probably would benefit from the softer midsole there, but otherwise a pretty good shoe. It's a shame I'm not so excited about it as I was about the original Xodus, because that was just an amazing shoe. But we'll see, you know, we'll get some more runs done in this. I'm going to run late Flame 50 in it as well, so I can give you a good update once we've done that race as well, so you know, see how it's holding up, particularly across that type of terrain. Is the upper going to break down? Let's hope not. But we will definitely see in, well, less than 3 weeks' time. So that's it for the Saucony Xodus Ultra. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and all of the good stuff. Yeah, much appreciated. So we do have some more bits and pieces on the way as well. Obviously, as I mentioned, we've got that 850 video coming up very soon. So yeah, look out for that one in a few weeks' time. Prior to that, we do have a review for a new pair of shorts that I tested, the Salomon AeroSense 5-inch. So yeah, I will bring that to you soon on the channel. Otherwise, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. Train hard, race hard, have fun. Until next time, I will see you soon.